Okay. Should be good here. Welcome to the Wrestling Pod. I am your host, Carlito Santiago, and today we're here to talk about what went down on Friday Night SmackDown in Tulsa, Oklahoma. If you guys haven't already, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, comment down below, and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a stream. Interesting, I can do that. So we're gonna share the screen here for you guys. Go. We gotta talk about Cody Rhodes is medically cleared. Yep, SmackDown opened with a video showing how Jacob Fatu attacked Roman Reigns on Raw. When we went live, Cody made his way to the ring. He said he met with some medical staff before the show to find out if he has been medically cleared yet. He tried to tease the answer being a no before he revealed he has been medically cleared. But that's when Ricky Saints, baby, hit his music and came out. The SmackDown's newest star walked to the ring. He insulted the crowd a bit before focusing on the champion. He said Rhodes is barely hanging on, and his title reign has aged him about 30 years. Having a newcomer confront the WWE champion right out of the gates is definitely a great way to kickstart someone's run on the main roster, especially when those two men have shared history. Remember, Carmelo Hayes did the exact same thing. Cody Rhodes agreed to have a match with him, but he didn't offer to put the title on the line. Surprisingly, the segment didn't go past the 10-minute mark. It felt like they said everything they needed to say without needing to fill time or rush. So that's good. Charlotte Flair took on Jacy Jayne. Rhea Ripley tried to offer her help to Flair and Bliss, but the Queen turned her down before heading to the ring to face Jacy Jayne. Ripley offered to help because Lainey Reed and Fallon Henley were at ringside, putting Bliss and Flair at a disadvantage. She wanted revenge for what happened last week. Flair forced her into the corner during their initial lockup in an attempt to mediate the newcomer, but Jacy Jayne didn't seem fazed. A lot of how this match was structured was designed to show off their wrestling ability, and it worked. Even with a few moments that didn't look as clean as they wanted, they looked good for two people who have never shared the ring outside of a singles or a rumble. Now, after some shenanigans with everyone at ringside, Jacy Jayne nailed the rolling encore for the 1-2-3 victory, getting a big win in her career by beating one of the most talented females on the SmackDown roster. Fatal Influence attacked former tag champions until Ripley came out and made the save. Flair shook her hand to say thanks, but she didn't seem happy about needing the help. Could be looking at a 6-woman tag team match, possibly. Damian Priest and R-Truth defended the tag team titles against Fraxium in an impromptu. Here, Damian Priest offered Axiom and Nathan Frazier a tag title shot backstage during a conversation with R-Truth, but Truth was upset because he was having a conversation with them about taxes, not title shots. It's fucking hilarious. But yeah, the tag team division here, guys, is in trouble with the now, I can say, departed The New Day. Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston departed from the WWE as of today. So yeah, the tag team division is looking pretty fucking lackluster, and WWE has themselves to blame. Truth and Axiom had a nice, fast-paced exchange to get the action started. Truth quickly tagged out to Priest once he realized he was outmatched. I thought it says outsmarted. He was outmatched. The High Flyers didn't seem to mind giving up a lot of size because they used their speed to keep the champions on defense throughout most of the match. A fun back-and-forth contest that made Fraxium look good, even in defeat, because Priest finished Axiom off with a razor's edge for the win. The MFTs made an appearance to attack both teams after it was over. Tala Tonga wiped out all four men as Solo directed traffic. Great going, but now we can move on. Miz and Kit Wilson tried to set a Looney Tunes style trap for Danhausen backstage, but it backfired. But now we're going to get another little backstage moment there. But first, two bloodlines. Solo Sikoa gave a promo after the break about Fatu taking out his own family. This brought out the Usos to say they have an issue with Fatu that needs to be settled. Jay called the Tongan death grip that Fatu used sacred and said it was over the line for him to use it on Roman Reigns. Now, even though they have shared a common enemy, Tala still ended up taking out both Usos at Solo's command. Solo told them to tell Reigns he isn't their tribal chief, and they are going to go after Fatu whether he liked it or not. The segment was fine, but it would have been far more interesting if they formed a tremendous alliance against the Samoan werewolf. I guess. Tumultuous. Anyway, moving on. You gotta fucking with words. Cody Rhodes took on, of course, Ricky Saints mid-match. Mid-card. Yeah, you know this one was gonna suck. The match got started during a commercial break following their entrances, but it was shown picture-in-picture. They had a pretty standard exchange to start. The American Nightmare started to build some momentum, but a swinging neckbreaker quickly turned things in Saints' favor. However, a moment later, Rhodes recovered and hit the crossroads for the win. With the first chunk of this bout taking place during a commercial, it felt like we barely got to see them work. There just wasn't enough meat on the bone, especially for Saints' big debut. And this is how we do it during commercial, like now. Gunther showed up and choked Rhodes after the match was over. He held the WWE title over his head, making his intentions clear. He's coming after the belt. Now, this could also have been the fucking, baby issue that Heyman had. Heyman says, you beat Rollins, I'll give you a title match against Cody Rhodes. Great. Mizhausen? Well, Danhausen came out in his custom vehicle to toss some freebies to the crowds. The Miz and Kit Wilson came out to spoil the fun. He said he came to the realization that the curse is real. The only way he can break it is to be Danhausen's mentor. This brought out Wilson to ask if the Miz has lost his mind. He said he wanted the Miz to continue to mentor him instead of Danhausen, but the Miz defended the decision because Danhausen has connected him with the fans. Of course, or Danhausen has connection with the fans. But anyway, Wilson recited a quick poem he wrote. He and Danhausen both wanted the handshake from Miz to signal his choice of mentee. The A-lister went back and forth before grabbing Danhausen's hand and raising it. As Danhausen was about to curse Wilson, the Miz attacked him from behind, springing their trap. They beat down the painted jokester and took him out with a skull-crushing finale. On paper, this segment sounds like it would be very dumb, but the three men in the ring pulled it off so great that it had the crowd into it every step of the way. Though cheesy, still fun. Therefore, this graded a B-. We ain't got to talk about this match. Royce Keys definitely dominated both fucking Los Garzas, so they're going to probably be on the chopping block soon, or they're going to go back to AAA. We don't even have to mention the gingerbread segment, which was pretty fucking dumb, because Sami Zayn cut a promo. He compared the way the crowd has turned on him to when turned on him to when fans booed Bob Dylan for using an electric guitar. The fact that he was in Tulsa, Oklahoma made the whole thing even more funnier. And then, of course, Sammy would then beat down the fucking gingerbread man mannequin, only for Trick Williams to come out and have a beatdown with Sami Zayn. Also, Williams, I guess, threw up the X symbol for the gingerbread man. Was funny, I guess. I mean, if you guys don't know what the X symbol means, when referees do this, it means that they're injured. Usually referees, you'll see it happen. Or there's seriously something wrong. Anyway, C-. We had a women's tag team match. Paige and Brie Bella versus Lash and Nia Jax. Of course, nothing too much happened. It was just a tag team match. So, they retained the titles, I guess. Everything fell a bit slow in this match, too. The tag team title match. It fell a bit slow. So, anyway, just going to move on from that because there's really nothing to talk about for this, match. We got to our main event, the Usos versus the MFTs. It was main event time, brought to you by Xfinity. Yeah. Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, took on Solo Sikoa and Tala Tonga. Jay and Tala started for their teams. The big man took a few shots before taking Uso out with one big clothesline. It's gotten to the point that it feels like we have seen every possible combination of the Bloodline and the MFT people's fighting. So whenever one of these matches happens, it has a hard time gaining any traction. Repetition is bound to happen. Basically, repetitiveness in any promotion. But how you revisit each feud is what makes it something fans want to see again or not. Sadly, WWE has not made the Usos as the MTs feel like a big enough deal compared to what it used to be. All four guys still worked hard to make this main event entertaining, but it was an uphill battle, especially on an episode with so few highlights. The Usos didn't gain much momentum until the final few minutes, but even then, Tonga kept finding ways to overpower them. Fatu ended up causing the referee to throw out the match completely because he would attack Tonga, and then of course give the grip to Solo. He would put Tala through the announce table with a Samoan drop after sending Sikoa running. He didn't go after the Usos, but they clearly were not on the same side. So the final word here, well, this week's show got off to a great start with a good promo segment, Rhodes and Saints, followed by JC Jane and Flair. However, and the tag team match, don't forget. However, it seemed to go downhill from there. The tag team between Fraxium, Truth, and Priest was decent, but Rhodes and Saints fell short on the mark. The stuff with Zayn and Williams and the Drew Brand was overstayed its welcome, and of course we had some silly bits, but also had Danhausen and Miz and Kit Wilson. As to that, I should mention Sami Zayn will be getting a rematch for the U.S. title against Trick Williams at Backlash. So we get that match. I hope Carmelo Hayes can insert himself real quick. Probably not. I mean, we haven't seen Carmelo Hayes in I don't know how long. But there's another one. We also have The Miz and Kit Wilson teaming up to take on Danhausen and a partner of his choosing. Who does he choose? Well, that's something to see for Backlash. We don't know. Gunther and Rhodes could be a great follow-up, of course, considering that we are going to have the Clash in Italy. So maybe Cody Rhodes and Gunther be the feud we build up to for Clash in Italy. That's perfect. But yeah, following Backlash, we're probably going to get a Fatal 4-Way for the IC Championship as well for Monday Night Raw. So I think that that Backlash is looking all right. It's not looking like a big enough pay-per-view. It's one of those pay-per-views that you could probably skip, but it's like a WrestleMania follow-up kind of, shit. But anyway, Backlash is less than a week away, but it didn't feel like there was much urgency applied to the build-up this week. And there doesn't feel like a build-up to fucking it at all. So, there's really like nothing, for it, honestly. But what did you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Again, don't forget to subscribe, drop a like, and of course turn on those post notifications so you never miss a stream. I will be back next week to give you the final Raw before, of course, Backlash. And I will be giving you the predictions on Thursday. And then you'll get the SmackDown summary on Saturday. And then you've got Sunday where I will review Backlash. WWE is really kind of tanking it in the tag team division. That's why I put the tag division is in trouble here in the comments. Or in the description of the video, sorry. But yeah, oh god. And don't forget, since we're now in May, I will also be covering AEW pay-per-views, starting with Double or Nothing, and then moving forward with pay-per-views. Just pay-per-views for now, until I get, see where we head there. I know, I said I probably wouldn't do AEW because of their ratings, but they're starting to build up and find their own identity, which is something that Vince could never do when in competition with something like AEW. They always go back and forth at each other's necks. We're not in Vince's era, so fuck you, Vince. Yeah, I will see you guys on Tuesday. Peace.